See, this has been a crazy holiday for me. So, as you know, I don't really buy presents, right? I don't buy presents. I usually just give people the money and stuff. You know, that's completely fine for me to do, right? And that's good enough. But today, or at least this holiday season, I've been contemplating on what to get. So a lot of things has changed in my life in the past year or so, right? I've started a new stream, and you know, like I have an entire community, and it's been an amazing journey. And now I have this podcast to tell everybody. By the way, I took a break, as you know. I took a break because I was so overwhelmed with a lot of things. So as I said, like this has been just one of the craziest months, because I have a day job, and that day job needs me to do things, and you know, like all these things, and it's just rough. It's just a lot of things. So I took a break from the podcast because I needed at least some time to, you know, not burn myself out. So now I'm here to tell you a bit more stories, right? Just a tiny bit more, not too crazy, but just a tiny bit more. So this holiday season, there's a lot of things that's new. Like my sister has moved out from our house. We lived together, and then now she's with her husband now. So I have this whole house all to my own. So very fun. It's a big house for one person, but you know what? It's good enough. And the thing is, I used to just give my sister like just a regular, you know, hey, here's money and stuff like that. But now I feel that it is an obligation. I know she's probably going to listen to this. It's an obligation for me to at least give her something that is more meaningful, right? Because I don't get to see her often anymore. She doesn't live with me anymore. So like I don't get to see her often anymore. So maybe it's time for me to buy, you know, to actually think about the present that I'm getting. But it's like, how, number one, I'm terrible at I don't know about you, but I'm terrible at gift giving. I am one of the most terrible people. I've already said this in a previous podcast episode. If you know, by the way, look, it's my new model, Christmas. Woo, Christmas model. But I've already said it in a previous podcast that I'm not at all good at giving gifts. Like I'm one of the worst at it. I am self-aware enough to say that it's one of the worst things that I could improve on. It is not a language of mine that I use. Like it's not my love language at all. Like I don't give gifts or anything. So I do more so like the services and whatnot, right? So I like to provide services and stuff. So that's more of my kind of speed on things, but a gift is not. I'm more akin to, actually, one time, this is so funny. This is one of the funniest things, because I know I'm tangenting, but this is why it's a podcast. I bought, so this was so funny. I bought for high school, when I was in high school. Was it high school, university? I'm not too sure what it was, but it is probably in high school. I had like the Secret Santa for my homeroom. It's like people have homerooms. I don't know if it's like a homeroom now, but we had this class before all the other classes, which is like where we gather and we just kind of chill and hang out and all that stuff. And it's called homeroom, or home period. I think it's home period, where you would always be with the same people and all that stuff. And then you start the day. So we had that, and the teacher was like, hey, guess what? Maybe it's fun to have some sort of Secret Santa. So we had a Secret Santa in the homeroom class, and I got someone. Obviously, I got someone, and it was someone that I didn't really know. Like, no clue what it is. I know most people, but like I didn't know this person that well. Like, you know, there's people that you know, and there's people that you don't know too much. Like, you know everyone, but sometimes you just don't know too many people. And I was so unlucky to get someone that I didn't really know too much. I know that they like playing like sports and stuff, but I'm not gonna give them like the ball of the sport. Like, I'm not gonna give them like, hey, here's a hockey stick, or like, hey, here's a hockey puck, or like, hey, here's a basketball. Like, that's not, like, I don't think that's a thing. We had a $20 limit, right? So instead, right? I was thinking about it. I'm like, what is the most logical thing for you to get? To get someone that, number one, it will provide them with a lot of functionality, right? It provides them a lot of functionality, okay? And it's cheap enough, right, that it's within the $20 budget, right? It's only $20, and most people don't have jobs, or like if they did have jobs, $20 is still a hefty amount because obviously it's just a part-time job, right? So we had a $20 budget, and we had to see, okay, so what is the present that you would do? And instead of getting something like a mug, you know, like all these like generic gifts that people think like, oh, they'd like the mug because it's so useful. No, my dumb butt bought them a sheet of bus tickets, right? Bus tickets. Of all the things I bought, this is almost akin to the fact that I gave like, you know, the previous podcast, the whole shower cap thing. No, I bought this person a sheet of bus tickets because I was like, you know what, let's say they needed it. Let's say they needed a bus ticket, right? Instead of them buying it themselves, this is very functional. This is very good. And I was like, hey, this is actually very nice. In my head, it was very nice. And as oh my gosh, I can just remember it. As people were giving out their presents, like there's like this little nice toy that, like, you know, like it's a slinky toy, like where you know, the wire that's infinitely like tangled together, like one of those things. There's like a fidget spinner and stuff. There's the people had mugs, you know, like, and some gloves and stuff. Glove would have been great. I didn't even realize we're in Canada. Like I didn't realize that the glove was gonna be great. I'm there with my dumb butt. I'm there and I'm just like, oh hey, here's bus tickets. Oh man, and then the people that got me a present, they got me like, oh, it's Damien. For sure that Damien would like I'm a nerd. Like, oh, for sure Damien would like this toy. And I got like a toy. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna say a random toy. I'm gonna assume like I think it was like a fidget spinner. I'm not too sure. It was something tiny. I didn't keep it. It broke almost immediately. So like they got me that. And then I'm just like, and then it's like all nicely, like, you know, wrapped and stuff. Everybody had a nicely wrapped gift, you know, like that like was in a bag and stuff. And I'm just there giving plain old bus tickets of all things. I'm so bad at gift giving. It's actually insane. And I'm trying to get better. I'm really trying to get better. It's so insane because for one of my friends' weddings, I was part of a group that wanted to buy a present for the person, right? And because I'm so bad at these things, because okay, here's my thing, okay? I'm not good at gift giving. I'm not the best at these things, okay? I can 100% admit that I'm not the best at these things. And when I used to have a significant other, they would be doing the thinking for me on this, right? They would do the thinking for me. I do a lot of the thinking for other things for sure, but for all these things that like are considerate to like the person, like when we would go out into someone's like party and stuff, right? When we would go into someone's party, they would be like, she would be like, oh hey, let's go ahead and bring our own drinks, because that's usually what it is. Dude, now, like, number one, I'd never go to parties, and number two, like now, even now, I'm not gonna go to parties. It's just a hassle for me. But now I'm just like, I don't know what to bring, dude. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to bring. Like I have no flippin' idea what to do. So I'm just like, maybe it's just good enough. Like, you know, like maybe I just give them a gift card or something. Like maybe I just give them a card. That's it, dude. Like that's it. Like that's all I do. Like I don't do any of the shenanigans. That like, you know, like not shenanigans. I don't want to say shenanigans, but I don't do any of that stuff. So like they would tell me all of that, like, hey, you should bring your own, like you should bring your own thing. Like even for oh man, even for like dinner parties that we would go to at like someone's house, you know, like we would say like, oh hey, here's like a wine that you that I thought would be nice, or hey, here's like some things, you know, like you would always bring gifts when you go to someone's house. Like, I am not that kind of person. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of wiring my brain has, but I really don't. Like, I think I really do. I'm not wired that way. And now that I don't have, like, and then my sister used to say that, to provide me that kind of advice. Right? My sister, she would provide me with that advice, like, oh, hey, Damien, you're going out to see some of your friends, and it's like, maybe you should bring them a present, you know, like maybe you should bring them something to like to be grateful that they invited you to someplace. I'm like, just like, do I have to? Like, you know, do I really have to? I'm like, you know, it's really nice for you to do so, right? It's really nice. I'm like, God, okay, fine, I guess so. Because every time I would go to like my friend's place, like, again, you know, like the bros nights out, right? When I would go to my friend's place, I didn't have to say like, oh yeah, here you go, you know, like have fun with that. Like if you didn't drink, then you didn't provide, like, I guess you didn't provide anything. I don't drink, I don't do any of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, like why would I provide my own drinks when I'm not gonna be drinking anything? So I'm just gonna go there without, like, when I'm not gonna bring my own sandwich, you know, like maybe, like, right, like I don't understand. So I go and I go to my friend's place, and I don't have to provide anything other than like if it's like, hey, we're playing video games, Damien, let's go ahead. So I would bring my console or my Switch or laptop or something like that. So I would bring that, but other than that, I just bring me. That's it, you know. So without the guidance, without the guidance of my sister or a significant other to do that for me, I'm just like, I'm so lost in the sauce. I am so lost, and I don't know if that resonates with any of you, but for me, oh my goodness, I am not good at it. And that's one thing about having someone and having someone to kind of tell you those things, right? Because there's definitely those friends of yours that are much better, significantly better at things and skill sets that you would need so that you can function, not even like function well in society. Like, I know everyone can function well in society, like we work and stuff like that, all that, right? It's more like society, you know, the totality of being a decent person when it comes to communicating with other human beings. Like, it's like, oh, hey, I know this is the average, just go ahead and do it, right? You know, for me, I don't do that. I don't know why, and it's just I'm not wired to be that way, right? So there you go. So so all this to say is that I'm doing my best to find something, and it's so difficult. Maybe like it's difficult now, like, even, but I know my sister, their family, I know my family, and it's so difficult to find something that a person already buys everything for themselves, right? So that's the whole thing. Like, I don't know. Like, what is something that would be good enough for a person that buys everything for themselves already, right? So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, I know that I could buy. Like I know the interests of my sister, like I could do that, right? But because they always buy something, like, hear me out. Like, do you feel that when you buy something for someone that already buys everything for themselves, that you don't want to do, like, you don't want to buy something that is a copy of the thing that they already bought? Because that's my scare, right? Like, I can be like, oh my gosh, like, maybe they'll like this book and all that stuff. Like, maybe they'll like this mug or something like that. Maybe they'll like this this t-shirt or stuff like that. All these things, right? Number one, the t-shirt, I'm never gonna buy anyone clothing because I don't know what their size is, right? So that's really difficult. But like a mug or a book that they've read or something of that sort, right? Like maybe like Pokemon cards, I don't know, but like or a video game, right? If they like video games and all that stuff. But you don't want to buy a duplicate because it just feels like you've wasted that time. Like, they're gonna say like, oh my gosh, thank you, you're so considerate and stuff, and maybe that is genuine, maybe that is, but for me, I'm just like, it's not functional though. Like, for me, I think I beat myself up on it because I'm like, I didn't provide you anything with any functionality, and that's what's going on in my head. I'm just like, did I really do something good? Did I do something bad? I'm not too sure. Not bad, but like, did I do something good? You know, and that's going on in my head all the time. Like, I just don't know. I really just don't know. And buying and doing something like providing gifts is always, for me, I will always be second guessing because I don't know. I'm not experienced enough in buying gifts, right? So I'm doing my best. I'm gonna try my darndest to buy something for my sister instead of just giving them money as I per usually do. That way they could just provide them for provided that like thought in for themselves, right? So like it's the same thing as providing like buying a gift card for someone, right? I don't see the difference. What is the difference? What is the actual difference? If comment down below what's the difference. But what is the difference of buying someone a gift card from, let's say, Amazon versus just giving them cash? Like, is there really a difference between that? Like, some people just buy like, hey, here's like, I know that you like drinking coffee, here's a Starbucks. Like, okay, but I know they like Starbucks, but like, why can't you just give them cash and they can buy anything from any coffee shop? You know, there should be, you know what, here you go. Maybe we'll patent something right now. All right, here we go. This is the podcast that will patent something. Okay, so the patent that we're going to be doing right now, probably not a patent. All right, don't take this as a patent, but this is the idea. Why is there not a thing? Right, I know that there's like prepaid Visa cards and stuff. No, we're not gonna do that because prepaid Visa cards suck. Because anytime that you do a prepaid Visa, there's always like the little tiny cents that you can never get rid of. And if you're trying to get that out of the Visa card themselves, it's just it's impossible, because you can't get cents from like an ATM machine or something like that. So like, never a good thing. So instead of a prepaid Visa card, can there not be, because that's the same thing as money, can there not be something where it's like, oh, hey, there's a legitimate, there's multiple stores that are involved in this payment system. So let's go ahead and give you a gift card for these like conglomerate of coffee shops, right? And it's like, oh, hey, there's no worry. We'll take like a cent per transaction, but if you're joining this, it's like a really nice gift. Like, hey, I know you like coffees, so here you go. Here's a gift card that is usable in these different coffee shops that have all joined together and be like, oh, hey, I want to be part of this. It's a really nice gift idea. Or like a clothing store, instead of providing them with cash, let's go ahead and have a card, right? A card that has access to multiple different stores, right? Like you can go with like a Gap or an Old Navy, or I don't know what, like a Lululemon and stuff like that. Like all these places, all these clothing stores would go in where all and sign up for this gift card idea. And then instead of being like, oh, hey, I got you, I don't know what you want to get, so I got you like a gift card for like a Dick's Sporting Goods or a Lululemon. Instead of doing that, you're like, hey, I got you this gift card for clothing. Go ahead and have fun with it. It can be used in any of these clothing stores that have signed up for this service. It's awesome, right? Like, isn't that really great? I think that's really good. I think that if that's not already an idea, I think that would be a great idea, because that gets rid of the prepaid Visa card, number one, right? Nobody wants a prepaid Visa, so let's not do that. Or a Visa or MasterCard or any like that. So, and people don't like money, right? So how about if you want to just get them this card, they can only spend it on these specific locations. I think that's great, because like the scare of just cash is that they can buy for groceries and stuff like that, right? So it's not really intended for the place that you wanted it to be. So let's just do that. Like, oh, hey, you like books? Here you go. Here's a card that you can spend only on bookstores across the nation or across the world. Oh, hey, you like shoes? This is a card good for shoes. Shoe stores all across the nation or the globe, kind of thing. I think that's great. I think that's an amazing thing. Maybe. This is not a podcast to say good ideas and stuff like that. I don't know if it's a good idea, dude. I don't know. But I think it's a good idea, right? And you know what else is a good idea? Ending this podcast, this episode at least for now, because it's getting quite late. So thank you for listening, and hopefully you have a good holiday. Bye.